Joshua Komisarjevsky started his career early at 12 years old, stealing a car, which soon developed into breaking into homes. He was reported in confessing to the police and a journalist that he enjoyed the rush of breaking into people's homes at night while they slept. "Robbing a house is better than any drug I've ever tried," the young thief once told a friend. He called burglary a form of extreme sport. He prided himself on his stealth in breaking into homes, even breaking into one of the biggest houses on the street, a journalist of Brian McDonald. And he threw a towel over the motion detector and entered the house through an open window in the back. He enjoyed seeking out dangerous situations and seemed to get an almost erotic thrill from his transgressions. He describes breaking into other people's homes at night, waiting, standing still, and listening to sleeping strangers slowly breathing in their beds. He would wear latex gloves to avoid leaving fingerprints, and on at least one occasion, he used night vision goggles to see in the dark. According to Komisarjevsky, he was sitting in his mother's beat-up red Chevrolet Venture, listening to Guns N' Roses in the parking lot of a super Stop and Shop in Cheshire. The first thing he noticed was a very nice Chrysler Pacifica minivan parked next to him. He recalls thinking like a crook, "Well, there's a nice car. There's good money." Then he noticed the three females inside the car. Jennifer Hawk Pettit, the youngish blonde mother, and her pretty daughter Michaela, still wearing braces on her teeth, went inside to shop for groceries while older daughter Haley stayed in the van. He watched and waited until the mother and daughter came back to the Pacifica with their groceries and then proceeded to follow them. Stephen Hayes was a drug addict. He'd been arrested 26 times, living his adult life since 1980 in and out of prison. Charges including burglary, weapons possession, narcotics possession, and larceny. The thread running through many of these arrests was Stephen Hayes' compulsion for drugs. 5 times Hayes had been given community release, and 5 times he had failed. In 1996, his release to a halfway house was initially successful. He was working at a restaurant almost 70 hours per week to save money for a car. Just when he had enough money to go for a test drive, he ran into a prostitute he knew who offered him crack. He took one hit and soon his savings was gone. He was living in an abandoned building and was breaking into cars to get money for more crack. "All I cared about was getting high," Hayes said. Not known to be a stealthy crook, his last criminal stint involved taking a rock to bash a window of a car to get a purse that was inside. He was sentenced to 5 years in prison for a parking lot burglary, which would have placed his release date in 2008. He knew he had a dismal record of rehabilitation and was not expecting to get out early. So, to his surprise, he was released from prison and sent to a Hartford halfway house. He even told a friend, "I don't even know how the heck they let me out of jail, but I wasn't going to say no." It was at this Hartford, Connecticut halfway house that Hayes, described as outgoing and funny, met Joshua Komisarjevsky, who was Stephen Hayes' complete opposite, kind of weird and quiet, keeping to himself. Even a fellow convict was puzzled and said to a reporter, "I don't know why they clicked, but clicked they did, like a pair of handcuffs." With this new forged friendship, they began robbing houses together and plotting different ways and schemes of making money, leading them to that fateful day, July 23rd, 2007.